Yo, it's your boy Mike Nguyen. You know where I am. I'm at Hack City. It's our stand-up comedy show, and it's the second Friday of every month at Union Hall in Brooklyn. The next one is September 8th. Doors at 7, shows at 7:30. Tickets available at asiannotasianpod.com or in the episode description. And listen, this month, we have a really, really special guest. It's someone you know. It's someone you love. It's someone who is really into flashlights. Flashlights. Check it out. We'll see you there. Hack City, September 8th, Union Hall. See you soon. I will never recommend you for a job because I want you to pursue your dreams.
Yeah,
Does
you're going to
sense?
hijack our other plans for stability because you want us to pursue our dreams.
And welcome back to another episode of the Asian Not Asian podcast with all your favorite Asian friends. I'm Mike Nguyen.
I'm Jenny Arimoto.
And that's right, you heard it. We're both on the podcast.
Can you believe it?
That's
we did
crazy.
it. We are sitting looking at each other in Mike's bedroom.
that sounded weird.
In a really cool, normal way.
Fully clothed.
Actually wearing extra layers.
So many.
Yeah. Because that's the only way we feel comfortable.
We're Mormon.
Yeah.
You know? We got put on the extra vestments.
Yeah, I have extra special underwear on.
I have the holy poncho.
The holy poncho.
Holy poncho. Yeah, it's been nice. I wonder if people were like, oh, because I did an episode when you weren't here.
Yeah.
And then you did an episode when I wasn't here.
Yeah, which was weird.
Well, yeah.
It was weird. Yeah.
I'm listening to it. So if you're listening to this, I am in the edit of that episode. So that's why if you're listening to it now, you're wondering why we're talking about it in such a weird tense. But I haven't listened to it all.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it.
Okay,
it's
good.
a different energy.
Definitely very, very different.
In a good way.
Yeah.
You know, but
lady energy.
I think you did a great job with the intro, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I pre-wrote it.
Yeah,
because I got really nervous.
But you crushed it.
Thank you.
You did such an elegant, kind of intro of everybody and all the announcements and stuff like that. I thought it was really nice.
Okay, good. I was so nervous.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I never do any of the hosting bit. I just listen to you and then I just kind of talk about my life and then I leave.
Right. I
was very nervous that I wasn't going to hit what I need to hit.
Right.
I was nervous about moving things along. Hosting is hard.
It's tough. You're always like halfway in, halfway out.
Yeah. You're like structuring things in your brain. And I was barely structuring.
Yeah, I know.
I was like just talking and I was like, oh my God, I'm the person in charge.
Oh God.
Yeah. In my head, I was like, Youngmi will move it forward because she's a podcast person. Like, that's not her job.
That's why I think it would be nice if we had a producer. We have a producer who's great and we have an editor who's great, but we need somebody who like sits with us. You know how in like a lot of podcasts?
Well, yeah. Well, I watched And Just Like That where Carrie Bradshaw has a podcast with that. They record in Midtown. In a beautiful booth. Oh yeah. With like 4 people.
So fake. Yeah. By the way.
And then the producer's moving them in and out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Have you seen the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay, me too.
I don't want to provide any spoilers.
Yeah.
But let me just say this.
Okay, go.
Season 2, they kind of move away from the podcast piece, and the reason is because she refuses to say something in an ad.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right.
One ad.
Yeah.
Brings this whole empire crumbling down.
The whole thing
falls apart
immediately.
I was like, I was saying they're so angry. I was like, that's not how this works. Like I barely know how this works. And I know that's not how it works. That was so wild.
I love that you have insider knowledge about this.
Yeah. I was like, no, that's not how podcast ads work at all.
No, sir. Yeah. I think a lot of people have had a lot of hot takes on Che's character.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Or Che, the whole Che thing, and as I do stand up and they do a set. This doesn't spoil anything. They do a set at
somewhere in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah. Like at Old Man Hustle in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And they made it look so cool. And I've done shows there. It's a fine club.
Yeah.
There can be great shows. I've had great shows there. But it's like there's like cool people standing out in front in a line.
Yes, in a line.
You know? And I'm
they have like weird corner seating that's well lit.
Yeah, yeah. I've sat in that booth many times.
Interesting.
And cried. Okay? That's my tear stains you can see on the show.
This is once again very specific, but the other time I got really mad 2 times in the season, which are times when not everyone else is getting mad. That scene where the comedy club scene, Miranda exits.
Oh yes.
Angrily, and walks right to the front.
Yeah.
I've never been to that club or to that venue, so I don't know. But I was like, that is wild and out. If you have to exit by walking right next to the stage,
right in front of the stage,
you walk right in front of the stage to get out of that show.
Totally.
Is that how it's set up?
There is, I think, a side entrance. I can't recall if that is how you walk out, but the main entrance is not that way.
Yeah, because I was like, imagine a packed house like that scene.
And you walk out in front.
Packed house, and you have to leave because there's an emergency. You have to walk in front of the entire room of people and the person performing to get out.
Well, have you ever been to the Cellar, the famous place?
Yeah.
The bathroom is next to the stage.
It's so crazy.
So it's like as you're like, and I'm talking about for the entire restaurant.
Yeah.
It's like there's an upstairs restaurant. So like when you go downstairs, you need to use the bathroom. You walk in front of the stage into the bathroom. And it's insane. I think they may have changed it now, but for a while it was like that.
Oh my God. Well, those are the two things that really stuck out in my brain, which is not important to most of the viewers, but I was like, how dare they?
How dare they?
Yeah.
What is this podcast about?
I don't
can't
know.
remember.
My eye is twitching.
Are you okay?
From this much coffee. 2 sips.
You've had 2 sips of coffee. This is going to be a weird one. This is going to be a good one though, because it's just me and Jenny.
Yes.
We're just going to catch up. I wonder if people thought maybe we were like doing solo stuff,
or maybe they thought we were really angry at each other. Huge feud. Can't be in a room anymore.
We should be really angry at each other.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
That was me and Fumi's thing. You know, we would just get mad at each other.
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't apologize because we were toxic.
Yeah.
But we would just be like, hey, next week we got to figure out this thing for the show or whatever. You know, like focus on work.
And then it would just come back together.
Yeah, and we would just
wow.
We were like brothers.
The thing
like
is, I would
brothers.
Communicate it off mic way too early for us to get in a fight.
You and I?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I'm very direct.
Yeah, you would. You'd send me like a letter folded up like a duck and I have to unfold it in music.
Yeah, and I actually deliver it myself to you.
at my locker.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah.
Jenny folded up this little duck note. Now I gotta read it. No, this is fun. It's just me and Jenny. We're just gonna be catching up. And hanging out, and it'll be a lot of fun. Before we get started, though, please, we got a Hack City show that's coming up really soon. September 9th is the next one. It's gonna be real fun. Are you gonna be there?
No.
God damn it. Okay,
I'm in Cape Cod.
Jenny will be in Cape Cod, but we do have a special guest who is gonna be. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. In my stead, I'm very jealous.
In your stead, and it's gonna be great. And yeah, I'll be there. We got a great lineup. Again, that's September 9th. That's the second Friday of September. It's got Union Hall. Show is at 7:30, and we'd love to see you there. Then we've got also just some other announcements. One, we're still donating to a couple of places that are supporting what's happened in Maui. So there's links in the episode description. We're going to be raising money at the show and doing that. And so if you can do it, that's great. If you can't, that's cool too. Just like spread the word. Take a screenshot and post a little note on Instagram or do whatever you need to do. Finally, our editor Pat Lee is making a film. He's got a fundraiser going, and I already give him enough money as it is. So I'm going to support him by talking about it on the podcast, and you can check out the link in the episode description to support him. He's a filmmaker, so he needs money because there's no money in doing that. Patrick,
for sure.
Okay.
Pat, you should, when you're editing this, I hope he takes all these sound bites from that sentence, and instead of like, I've given him enough money, it's like, I haven't given Pat enough money. Like edits it. So
feeds it through like, I don't know, Mid-Journey or AI, some AI thing, and it's like
it's like your voice being I owe him a lot of money.
Makes it sound like I love Donald Trump or something. Donald Trump is awesome. I have given money to Donald Trump. Yeah. Finally, also, if you want to support the podcast yourself, then you can go to patreon.com/AsianNotAsianPod, and we do all sorts of fun stuff when you contribute, such as we give you a shout out on the podcast and try to give you a little backstory, because we are so curious about all the people who support us, and we love every single person. Trust us, it really, really helps. We definitely use the money for good, not for evil. And here we have a Patreon subscriber. It's Diana Lee.
Diana Lee. What a classic name.
This is what I love.
Yeah.
Classic classic boba Chinese girl name.
But do you know what I imagined first?
Okay, go.
A 90s figure skater.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, and coming up, and she's from Lake Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Diana Lee.
And she was like one of the teen.
Yes.
What do you call that level of figure skating?
Like
but
junior,
like
yeah.
nationals, like
Yes,
junior nationals,
junior national champion.
junior nationals champion of like whatever. Like that's what I imagined.
Whoa,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Immediately, I
Diana
saw the
Lee.
little like
Yeah,
velvet
the little
onesie
yes.
skirt thingy,
the white boots.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. And I would be watching on the sidelines, being like, so cool.
I have a crush on her already. Immediately, I don't have the internet at the time,
Right.
so I'm just whenever she's on ABC.
Yeah,
You know, when they show the nationals,
the junior nationals,
the junior nationals, or eventually she goes to the Olympics.
Yeah.
I just have to watch her there.
Exactly.
I'm just like, oh my god, I'm in love with that.
Yeah. I don't know anything else about her, and it's impossible to find
It's impossible to find information
There's
about Diana.
no
Lee.
internet,
There's no
yeah.
internet, so you just see her.
and you go, that's
Right.
my wife.
Yeah, exactly. Now
And you're 8.
she does a great job, but she does fall during like the triple sow cow.
Yeah.
So, but she such great artistry, gets
Right.
bronze.
Uh-huh.
Okay, loses out to the Japanese and the Russian figure skaters.
Yeah.
Right. The Russian one he clearly cheated.
Right.
But Diana still put in a great effort. All right.
Exactly.
Goes on a little national tour. Goes on Good Morning America.
Mm-hmm.
Is America's sweetheart. Finally, then can move on to becoming ophthalmologist. Boom.
Right.
There
I
you
was
go.
gonna say retired right after
Retires
that.
at 20,
In a healthy,
like 20.
Right, in a healthy way.
Healthy retirement.
Yeah. Like, that was my dream when I was a child. And now it's eyes.
Now it's eyes.
Yeah. My dream is eyes now.
Yeah. I mean, what does I guess Michelle Kwan is like doing Michelle Kwan stuff. She's not competing, but
I
she's
don't
like.
know what Michelle Kwan does these days.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Can we
she
get
has-
her on the pod?
We probably could.
I would actually lose my mind.
Oh shit.
I was a huge figure skating fan in like the 90s, the peak.
Oh yeah.
Who
Chrissy
Michelle Kwan,
Yamaguchi?
Chris Yamaguchi.
Chrissy
Wow.
Yamaguchi. Woof.
Oh
Huge
wow.
crush on her, man. Woof.
I was just so jealous. I was amazed. I was like, wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I had a friend who was a really good friend who did figure skating when she was young and knew Michelle Kwan, like
What?
competed with them.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's so
It's
cool.
like such a small like world.
It
the
is.
whole
It
thing.
is. I think everything is really small. That
It
was
really
a
is.
horrible sentence, but my brain went somewhere else as I was talking.
Yeah. Yeah. So Diana Lee, congratulations on your bronze
Congratulations.
at the 98 Nagano Games.
Yeah. Oh, she made it all the way to Nagano?
Yeah, she did
I didn't know
98
that.
Nagano Games. It was amazing. And we love you. I have my sisters have your poster.
Yeah.
Okay, I have your Wheaties box.
Uh-huh.
And thank you
Huge
very much
fans.
for subscribing to the Patreon.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
And again, you could also win the Olympics if you subscribe to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/AsianNotAsianPod.
Wow, really good.
We don't have to do a fit check today. We look great.
No, we
We're
look
just gonna
really
keep- we're
good.
just gonna
Imagine the best outfit you've ever seen.
So-
Double it. That's what we're wearing.
We're wearing 2 outfits
Yeah,
each.
we're wearing 2 outfits each.
I put on an outfit and I was like, this isn't good, but I don't want to get rid of this one.
Yeah.
Put another
Double
one
it.
on top.
Yeah. I just looked at myself in the mirror and go, double it. And I put on another outfit.
Just look right in the mirror.
and go,
Just like,
double it.
Double it.
Yeah.
Double it.
And that's us today.
That's
We
some
look
NBA
really
shit.
good. Yeah.
You like that? That's some NBA hot pussy shit right there. Woo, that's good. We're going to go right into it. What kind of Asian were we this week? Do you want to go or start? Do you want me to start?
Why don't you go first?
Okay.
Mike, what kind of Asian were you this week?
I was a viral Asian.
What?
Viral. So like, you know.
You were viral?
I've been putting out my stupid stuff on
Yeah.
Instagram. And finally, the last one I did, it was like a slow burn.
I didn't even see it. I
Well-
think I've been I've been very busy this week, so just off of social media.
It's been interesting and like kind of seeing how the algorithm works now, because I feel it changes, because it used to be, I think, where if you put something out, then within an hour or two you knew if it was going to go well.
Yeah.
But this one, it did fine at
Yeah.
first for like a couple days, and it got to like whatever 5,000 10,000, which is like normal for me. I was like, okay, cool, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
And then like maybe on day 5 it like pushed it up and it went up to like 100.
Uh-huh.
And then it's been going on now, and Now, the latest one I have, it's the one where I quote unquote react to Asian celebrities as Asians. It's like an AI generated thing. So somebody on Reddit put it like this, asked whatever the Mid-Journey AI thing to imagine celebrities as East Asians. Really, when we say Asians, East Asians, and it's me like making little comments about it, right?
I see.
Like in a green screen, and it's at 500,000.
Wow.
Which is like a pretty big number.
Yeah.
But again, it was like a slow burn. It was like over the course of like the last, I put that out
Reels
like a couple
is
weeks
kind
ago.
of like that now.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But like, I did it. And, then I went on like a little short trip. I was in, you said I was in Baltimore.
I know. I thought you were in Baltimore.
I was in close. I was in Ocean City.
Okay.
And it was nice. And when you're like, away on vacation, you're not like checking Instagram, you're not doing all like the normal stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just like occasionally I'd look and I would see like, oh, it's got more views or whatever, and I kind of want to just stop. I just want to go out on top like that. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I'm just
Did
like,
you say is that cool?
Is that cool?
Were you looking for approval?
Yeah. Because I just like, okay, because like I'm gonna make another, like I got to make another one soon, and I'm just like, that's gonna be back at 5,000, and I'm just
here's
like,
my thing about
spiraling.
social media. I know we talk about social media so much, and it's probably sickening,
disgusting.
in a bad way, derogatory, but I think that social media encourages you to make the same type of content
for sure
over and over and over and over again, which is fine if you want to be a content creator.
Yeah.
But that is not me. I don't want to do like one character 500 different ways every day.
Yeah.
And so I've just decided I'm going to do it at my pace and not care about my follower count too much, though, because I do spiral when I lose people.
No, totally, me too.
But like I am trying my best to be like, this is all an algorithm and it wants a certain thing.
Yeah.
So if you want to grow your following
and just do that,
then you can just keep doing that.
Right.
It'll probably work.
I wonder if it would work.
Yeah.
Well, I just have to keep coming up with more AI generated celebrities.
Or like green screen joke, like commentary. Like if you just keep doing it, your following will grow. But what does that mean? You
know what's interesting too is I was making another one, and I was like, okay, I'll make it really quick. No such thing. It was taking so fucking long.
Yeah.
Like with the UX of everything was like so janky. I had to like switch from all these different apps. I was like filming it in TikTok, but then I was like exporting it into like CapCut, and I was like cutting it in there, and then I had to put it on Instagram and then put another edit. I was like on my phone for so long.
I know. I know.
It was just like, this is.
So wait, when it picked up numbers, did you feel good? What did it feel like?
You know what it felt like? It felt like I had finally got the monkey off my back.
Uh-huh.
It was fine because I've was putting out like stuff like consistently, like 2 a week, right? And it would be like 5 or 7 or whatever thousand, and I felt like I was just like, okay, I'm plugging away at it, and I really want to have one where it's like 10,000, or something. And then when it happened, I was like, cool. It was a relief. It wasn't like, man, I did such a good job. It wasn't
celebratory. It was just like, I hit my goal.
It's like I ate my.
You benched
whatever.
350.
Thank you.
Is that a lot?
That's a lot.
Okay, I don't know anything, so I just said a number.
No, that's a great way to do it. Well, like if I had benched 350, I'd be very excited. But like, do you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I accomplished something. It was like, it's kind of like when your parents pressure you to like place first or second in piano, which I've never done. I mean, I don't even play piano.
I've done it a lot.
When you're at Nagano and you have to win gold or silver,
I get that.
Or bronze,
100%.
And you put so much pressure on yourself. Mm-hmm. It's not I triumphed. It's just like, okay, good.
Yeah.
I did it.
I understand.
This is what it felt like.
The feeling of going viral is so fleeting.
Yes.
Like the good feelings that come with it.
Totally.
Is what I've learned. It's
absolutely.
Like, it feels good for a second, and then you go, the thought is I have to do this again.
I have to do this again.
The I have to do this again is horrible.
Yes. Oh, I know.
And you're like, I don't have any ideas right now. And then you panic. That's me all the time.
Well, the thing is too, is I have a lot of ideas, but they're just like.
Okay, brag.
What's that?
I said, okay, brag.
But they're just like, to your point, they're like all over the place.
Yeah.
I want to do one where it's like, I want to do, you know how there's that thing that went around that's, I guess, still going around where people are like NPC characters?
Yeah.
You know, I had an idea where I was like, oh, I'll do like an Asian NPC character. It'll be like if your best friend was an NPC, right? And it would, you know, I had a funny idea where like, because sometimes your friend just seems like they're not even listening. They're just like reacting to you like,
sure,
I agree. Ha ha ha. 2 shots, bro. You know, it's like right? They're just doing that. But now I'm like...
I think that's especially men.
Yes, I definitely think
men
for sure.
especially are NPCs. I grabbed a drink with my friend who's like a straight guy this week. And I did have some moments where I'm like, does he want to be here?
What did he do?
Or is it just that I'm at a bar and he was like, bar, close. Like he just like showed up.
Really?
It's not rude or anything, but you start talking, he's like, well, you know what I mean? Like you're like... Okay, he just said and well over and over again. He's like, that's the way it goes. And you're
that's
like,
the way it is.
This guy doesn't want to be here.
You got to hit the triangle and then he'll be like, crazy weather we're having, you know? And then if you talk to him enough, then he'll like give you a mission. He's like, oh, all right, well, somebody says the caves are haunted. I don't know. I wouldn't go.
No, it would be like this. It wouldn't even be like that. The mission would just be looks like we're out of drinks. Do you want to grab this round? That would be the mission. Or it's like, seats are open outside. Should we go grab it?
Should we grab some seats?
Yes.
Hey, I have shrooms.
Yeah.
Take shrooms, don't take shrooms. You know what I'm saying? You want shrooms?
That's what it would be.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off from talking about your ideas.
No, but see, that's funny.
Yeah.
See, this is funny. This is funny. I'm having fun. This is funny. You know, I had this like, you know, I have like fun thoughts like that.
Sure.
And then I like execute it. And I'm just like, I have my little tripod and I like take a picture and like video it. And then I'm like, you know, I'm like toiling.
Yeah. It's not fun alone.
It's not fun.
The reason why
like,
all my
sucks.
videos recently are always with somebody.
Yes.
Is because for a while I was doing it by myself, especially pre-vaccine. I was doing almost everything alone.
Yeah.
And it was fun for that time because I was so desperate for something.
Yes.
But now that we're in regular life again.
We are in regular life again.
Ish, you know, like...
Yeah.
I'm like, when I sit there with the camera and also just the number of people doing it, everyone's posting content now.
So much content.
And it's kind of all the same.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to at least have fun with my friend. Even if it flops, I'm going to have fun with my friend and I'll have that memory with my friend.
Yeah.
That's how I think about it.
Yeah. I do want to do this NPC character now, you and me. I think that'd be a really fun thing to do.
I'm always down.
Yes. Jenny, what kind of Asian were you this week?
I was a moving Asian.
Moving Asian.
I moved.
Yes. You moved this week.
I moved this week. Damn. I literally moved the day after I recorded that last episode.
Right.
Which Julia and Youngmi were like, you're insane for doing this with this timing.
I know.
I was like, I know. I thought it'd be a good break. It was a good break for that like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember what we talked about because it was like literally the day before I moved.
It's just so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am in a moment now where I like to have cleanliness and structure. And I lost that for the last 2 weeks.
Oh no.
Moving, you know?
Yes.
Packing everything up. And now I'm like at the point where I have to unpack everything.
Yeah.
And I don't have like a place to put stuff in this new apartment.
Do you
live
alone now?
No, I still have a roommate.
Okay.
So I'm very like unsettled.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
And all I do with my spare time is think through what I need to buy or the solutions I need to like feel at home, like put storage solutions. It's basically like I need to like control where everything is.
Yes.
Or like I can't find stuff right now because they're like in boxes.
Yes,
and that stresses me out.
Oh yeah.
So it's like that feeling, like I'm just not quite settled yet. The move itself was like very easy. When I like step outside and look at it from any other person's perspective, I have no job right now. I moved in the random ass time where no one else is moving. Like I did, everything was very easy. Nothing was lost during it. I don't have that much stuff, furniture.
The actual moving part wasn't too bad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
but
good.
then when I'm in it right now, I'm this is the most stressful thing anyone has ever experienced in their lives.
For sure. Getting a new job, which you're also in the middle of also. And I would say, and moving, I would say one, two. Those are like the most stressful things.
Totally. So part of this move was I needed a change.
Yeah.
I've been at my last apartment, which was beautiful. I moved in the throes of 2020. I was like, I need space to like work from home, like all this stuff. And I was making tech money at that time.
Oh yeah.
So I moved to this beautiful apartment and I just hit a point where I was like, okay, I changed a lot since 2020. Like if I was on this podcast in 2020, I would be like a markedly different person. A lot of like my shift happened fall of 2020 to 2021 was like the internal shift I really changed, whatever. So I think there was this moment when like the lease conversation came up again this year. I was like, I just need to change.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Yep.
I need something to shift. And I think I need to get out of this apartment. And part of it was also, I was thinking, I think it's time for me to cut down my cost, because the longer I pay like high rent, I'm going to feel more pressure to go back to a high paying job.
Totally.
So like the year I didn't work in 2021, when I quit Google on my own to like pursue time to like do comedy, I actually didn't do that much comedy because I was panicking about the fact that I wasn't making income to pay to like, so I was like, my savings was just like going down.
Sure.
I was making some like freelance money, but I was always on the edge of like scrolling through LinkedIn for 30 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Just in case something pops up. Just to see in case I want to go back to like making money.
Oof. You're in a bad place when you're scrolling through LinkedIn.
Yeah, it's horrible. It also doesn't help when you're looking at it. You're like, this is the most unhinged place on earth.
Is it really?
It's
I've
so
never really
unhinged.
hung out in LinkedIn.
I sometimes look at it for fun.
What?
Because it's crazy.
Like you do, like I'm gonna do an edible.
People are like writing love letters to corporations. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, everyone needs to calm down and like literally go outside and look directly into the sunlight.
Just
like I'm like, do
sun.
something. Burn your eyes out. So yeah, that's why I moved to a smaller place with much cheaper rent on purpose. It's beautiful.
Nice.
But it's like just like less amenities, less space and whatever. And the neighborhood's great. I have a lot of friends there. So like there are a lot of pros. At the same time, the ego part of me is feeling very like, this is a step down.
Because you moved down, like quote unquote moved down.
Yeah, like capitalism wise. Like I'm like,
you have less
like
space or
I have like less space, or like I like reactivated my Facebook because I needed access to Facebook Marketplace, and I'm not on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I reactivated it just to sell some stuff from my old apartment, and by virtue of I hate how Facebook works. I wish I could just do Marketplace.
I know what
but
you mean.
like by virtue of like reactivating, the first thing you see always is your timeline.
Yeah.
And I am seeing like all these people from high school that I don't see on Instagram, and they're all married with a house and kids.
Damn, where do they live? Like
I don't know, but they're, I mean, like probably somewhere in California.
Oh, wow.
But I just was like, had this moment of like, I am in such a bubble.
Yeah.
And when I am not seeing the people from this part of my life, I feel normal because I'm with like comedians in New York attempting a creative job.
Yep.
The second that Facebook reactivated, I was like, oh my God, everyone like lives in like a suburban house with a baby.
Yeah.
So once again, it's like my ego. It's like, oh, well, like I've actually stepped out of my career.
Yes.
Quote unquote career.
Yeah.
I'm like actively choosing a smaller apartment to kick my
You're
butt
pursuing
to
your dreams,
pursue
you know?
my dream.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it is weird. It's like two different things. Like I know rationally this is a choice I made, but emotionally sometimes I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
my ego.
But I feel like you are, you know, like to all those people who you see on your timeline who are like making the choice to do something more conventional, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very much like that too. You know, like you're doing the responsible thing, you know, you're doing what you need to do, right? You're like lowering your overhead.
Yeah.
You know, you're moving into a space where you could be more creative.
Right.
You know, you're doing like it's funny. You're like being like a rational creative person.
I know. I'm the most rational creative person.
But it'd be hard for anyone to criticize that.
Totally.
It's not like you're like, I'm racking up mad credit card debt.
Right.
And like whatever, crashing at random people's couches all day.
Right.
You know, because you know you're trying to. You still have your dream. I don't know why, but you know you're still doing it.
I did have that moment. I haven't been feeling funny lately because I've been moving and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's when it coincides like that, when you're moving, not feeling funny, but moving to eventually write something that's funny, you do a little bit spiral. You're like, what am I doing this for again?
Yeah.
What is this dream again? I forgot.
I mean, there's some funny stuff in moving, you know what I'm saying?
It's true.
There should be some short film about moving. That alone is funny.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know? And horrifying.
It is horror.
Could be a horror. It could be horror.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
No one take this idea.
No one take this idea.
Bleep out this whole section.
Bleep out. This is 2 minutes of
Yeah. and it ends with us going, that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just like in this place. I also know though myself, I'm driven by feeling and not, I'm like rational, but I'm driven by feeling. And I feel very like at peace with this move. Does that mean like I feel good?
Yeah.
When I wake up, I'm like, this was right.
That's good.
So that's good.
Yeah.
But then my the rational comparing side of things happens, and you're like, what am I doing? I should be buying a place. Like I should be, I should have $400,000 to buy a place in cash.
That's so much money.
I know.
Who has $400,000?
A lot of people apparently.
Apparently, a lot of people do. I don't know. I tried to make this a bit for a while, but like if somebody is able to pay you like for a house in cash, where it's like $1 million and somebody who just rolls up with $1 million in cash. I feel like in the 80s, if you did that, the FBI would just be like, you're a drug dealer.
Yeah.
You're under arrest. How do you have $1 million in cash?
Right.
Like in cash.
Right.
Like
It's
the only
wild.
time you ever did was like, oh, somebody kidnapped my daughter and I have to, with the briefcase. And even then the bank is like, no.
Yeah.
We'll give you a cashier's check.
Right.
And that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Your daughter? $1 million?
Your daughter?
No, I don't think
$1 million?
so.
No.
That's not a viable business
Right.
model.
Exactly. We're going to have to put her, in storage until we can get interest out of her. I don't know how business works. Here's a question. So I was listening to, the podcast with you and Julia and Young Me. And talking, Julie was like, oh yeah, I had to apply to like these new jobs or these full-time jobs. And I was listening and, I am, I'm like full-on dad mode Mike now. And I haven't stopped doing comedy.
Right.
But I know that it is like changing like for me. And I'm making my peace with that.
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be a good thing. I have no idea. I know it's changing. But I'm listening to y'all and I wonder, there's a question I have sometimes. Do you ever think like, how much should I support my friends' dreams versus like try to talk them off pursuing the dream? Because for me,
interesting.
For all of y'all, like whenever I hang out and it's like, we're at there's Asian prom or I see you and Brian and Young Me and I see Fumi and I see all these people and y'all are pursuing it. And you're in a different place from where I am. But in my heart, I'm like, I will never recommend you for a job because I want you to pursue your dreams.
Yeah,
Does
you're going
that
to
make sense?
hijack our other plans for stability because you want us to pursue our dreams.
If you needed a recommendation from me, I would purposely be like, this person's unhinged so that you will not get that job.
That we have to continue.
So that you have to keep going.
That's beautiful.
I mean, I don't know. It's like, does that seem like crazy? I don't know. Like sometimes I go back and forth.
I feel like I really am so supportive, especially for people where I'm like, you do have something and it feels like such a waste, which we are surrounded by people like that.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
We are also like the people who we're friends with are on the cusp of it. They have had success. And that's what bothers me. I'm like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
You're just doing movies or whatever.
On movies or yeah.
Which I know we can't talk about due to strikes, but
right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they're like actively all on the cusp. They're getting on lists, like whatever.
They're on the thing. They're getting looks. They're like in the unions. They're like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's when I'm like, that's when I want to hijack. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I also understand the need for being able to pay rent.
I get that too.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm like the most conventionally unconventional person.
Yeah.
I think. And I think you and I are like that.
Yeah.
Very similarly.
I think so too.
But I always
Very
think about
responsible.
that. Because I'm always like, I feel I'm like, it's too late for me. Just keep going. Okay.
But I think for everybody, you need to just always know that this passion also will not fulfill you for forever. Like it cannot make you fully happy.
You mean like
succeeding in comedy will not make me a happy, fulfilled person necessarily.
Oh, no. Only real estate will do that.
Yeah, only real estate. Only ownership of real estate will do that. Until I own land. The bourgeois. Yeah, exactly. Until I own land, I won't be happy. And I know that about myself. It doesn't matter how much comedy
until
I do.
I own land. I went and then looked on Zillow in Oakland.
Yeah.
And I was looking. Just because
you like the Bay
Oakland.
Area.
I like the Bay Area. So I was looking and like
impossible.
Well, here's the thing is that I was looking and it was like eye-popping and the amount of money, but it wasn't also like
out of reach.
I mean, it's out of reach for me, but it wasn't like crazy out of reach. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like like you could see there's a place, and it would need work or whatever, but it's like, okay, maybe if I like sold all of the stuff I own, I could do it, including Neo. Sorry, Neo, you got to get out of here. But I don't know. It was like it opened the door for a little bit, but then I was like, I don't know. I didn't walk through that door. You know,
Yeah.
I was just like, this is too
I mean,
much.
I have this thought all the time where it's like, I should be a homeowner.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
and then what?
Right.
So what?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I own this thing that I live in. Now what? I'm just like stressed all the time because I have to fix the leaks that are happening on myself instead of the landlord. You know what I mean? Like,
no, totally.
I do go through that thought process. I'm like, what am I trying to prove?
We could start a commune. So like we could pool our money. We could start an Asian comedy commune.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like
Do you know how exhausting that would be?
it would be a lot.
Just bits on bits on bits.
So many
constantly.
bits. Yeah. But we could also like do gardening.
Yeah.
You know, and we could like paint the house and like make that place nice, you know?
Yeah. Also, more and more, I was like, it's not bad having a roommate. I was talking to my friend and she was like, oh, I used to live alone and I actively went back to a roommate.
Really?
Yeah. She was like, it was so lonely.
Oh, you didn't? Other people like that.
Yeah. And
You
I
never
was-
lived alone, have you?
No.
Yeah, I haven't ever either.
Yeah. So I'm like, I either need a rich boyfriend, stat, hello, let me know. Just kidding. Or like, I think it's not bad having a roommate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so you're still unpacking. You're excited about your place.
And I'm hoping that in like 2 weeks I can start, maybe less than, maybe in a week, I can start feeling funny again. That would be awesome.
You know, I haven't been feeling funny either, but I think it's because I've been feeling happy, and I think it's been too sunny and nice, and I've been going on vacation. It's really hard to write a bit when like
life is good.
When the ocean wave is hitting you like mid thigh, you're like, I'm not writing any jokes right now.
I know, life is just good. I love, like, Earth is beautiful. That's like the thought you have. You like look into the distance, you're like, Earth is beautiful.
Yeah, no one's been on a beautiful hike and this would be a great bit.
I have some tweets stored up in here.
Yeah, man. There's really something really interesting here. No, when you're, I don't know, like stepping in rat poop.
Yeah, that's when you're
this
like,
is a
I have
bit
a lot
right
of
here.
things to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Or in the middle of, well, maybe your horrible move. You know, you can see. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Sometimes we're faced with a crossroads in life and we don't know where to go. I know that happens to me all the time. I'm trying to figure out what to do with, my career, my family, my work relationships, all that stuff. And whatever it is, therapy can help you map out your future and trust yourself to find the way forward. I've done therapy and I use it when I need to figure things out. I use what I've learned in therapy to help me figure out what I value in my life and to really understand what I need to move forward. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's all online, so it's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Asian today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Asian. Lately, I've been driving around in my car in New York, and what a lot of people do in New York City is they're crazy. What they'll do is they'll double park their car when they want to run into the store, car on and everything, keys in the car and everything, and they'll just walk into the store. Why would you do that, right? I mean, it's probably fine, but what if you come back and someone drives off in your car? Well, that's exactly what you're doing when you're using the internet without ExpressVPN. Every time you connect to an unencrypted network at a hotel or an airport or something, any hacker on the same network can gain access to your personal data. All a hacker needs is a little time and some cheap hardware, and they can do it. Don't be a victim. ExpressVPN creates a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet, so hackers can't steal your sensitive data. It's super duper secure and would take a hacker 1 billion years to get through ExpressVPN's encryption. And finally, it's easy to use. You just click one button and you get protection. It works on all your devices, phones, laptops, tablets, so you can stay secure on the go. I use ExpressVPN on my phone. What I like most about it is it's so easy. It's literally one button. I installed it in 2 minutes and I can turn it on in 2 nanoseconds. I use ExpressVPN because it's important for me to keep what I do private. Secure your online data today by visiting expressvpn.com/Asian. That's EXPRESSVPN.com/Asian. And you can get an extra 3 months free. expressvpn.com/Asian. We're going to shift gears a little bit, and we've got an interesting thing. We've got a couple, people will write to us through the email or through DMs or whatever, but we got this one through an email, and it's really interesting, and it's a little long. I'm going to try to summarize it here and untangle a little bit, because some of the terminology is not the I don't know how to figure this out. Let me think here. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm just going to read some of this letter, and you can follow along. So the letter goes, I've been a listener for a couple of years, and I absolutely love the podcast, especially when Jenny is on.
Cute.
You didn't have to burn me like that so badly.
I don't like especially when Jenny is on. It makes it sound like Jenny I'm not on that much.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best. Might just schedule sometime over my trips.
I was hoping to hear your thoughts on so this person calls it first generation immigrants. So I think the term is, so this person is the person who moved to the country.
Right.
Okay. Do either of you have immigrant friends? I'm curious about how you perceive the difference between their experiences and your own. Jenny, have you ever considered or intentionally avoided dating an immigrant? That's an interesting one. So dating an immigrant, say, as a second generation person, which is like me and Jenny.
Yeah.
So that we were born here versus somebody who came here.
Right.
Identify as a Chinese person. This person lives in North America. Never really felt like there was a big gap between me and my second generation Asian friends, or those who grew up in Asia. It seemed like overall we had shared similar struggles, like the pressure to prove ourselves in the workforce. But then something interesting happened. I started dating a second generation Asian boy, and I have never felt more inadequate, insufficient because of my choice to stay in the country I'm in. He told me that I'm, quote unquote, not good enough for him because of 3 main reasons. We're in different stages in life. I'm developing 5 years slower than he did because, as he says, I needed to survive. This person needed to survive, and they didn't have the capacity to thrive, be introspective, and think about life. That's interesting. And then further, my choices of friends are bad, which is interesting because it's not the culture to speak introspectively. And then his mom thinks his life would be tough if he were to continue dating me. Very specifically, I'd be, quote unquote, taking advantage of him. Not sure what's going on there. It's been quite a journey navigating these cultural and personal differences. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the podcast. So, yes. So to summarize, this person is a first generation person, is dating someone second generation, and it's kind of like
noticing the differences between first gen and second gen.
There's some friction here.
Totally.
So let's start with the first thing. Have you dated a first generation person?
It's a little bit unfair because he went to American school.
Oh, I see.
So does that count? Because he's not.
Would that person say that they are?
No, I would call him second gen because he.
I see.
I think he was born here, but went back to Asia and then was in an American school.
Okay,
so it's a little bit tricky.
A little tricky.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, I have not.
Yeah. Okay.
I am not against it. Okay, first of all, I do have first generation friends, but I notice now when I had to caveat it, they all moved young.
Yeah.
Like within middle school or before.
Sure.
Or they were back and forth and ended up at an American university.
I see. So kind of like 1.5ers.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I do have friends like that.
Yep.
But I don't have anyone who moved here I don't have any close friends who moved to America like in their adulthood
or like
from Asia.
Teens or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to think through. I do have first generation friends from Europe.
Whoa.
Yeah, I have European friends. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, not Asian friends. I'm not against it, but I think like, especially from the way I talk is so culturally embedded.
Yeah.
That I think I kind of like very quickly just like filter through people sometimes. Unless it's like a work friend that we meet through like tech work, then it's different because it's like circumstance, and we're probably not talking about like tweets, tweets, or like and just like that or whatever. Yeah. But like my personal life, I am like a huge culture person, so I do think I kind of naturally go towards people who are like grew up with the same culture as me, you know what I mean? Like within American culture, or like are heavily online, or like watch television, and like, because that's what I like to think and talk about. Have you ever dated a first gen person, or
a couple?
Okay,
a couple. One of them was, I guess, kind of a serious one, and they were very, they had an accent and everything, and like mainly spoke Chinese and stuff like that, Mandarin, I think. And I thought it was cool. I was fine. I did notice there were differences.
Sure.
Not to this point, but there's also kind of like a thing about like, you know what a parachute kid is? Mm-mm. So like parachute kids are like kids. It's kind of tricky, but basically it's like a kid from from Asia, and then the parents are kind of like sending the kid over here to learn stuff.
Oh, okay.
And they get like supported,
I see.
Financially.
Yeah.
So there was another girl I dated, and she was a Korean, and she had like all kinds of resources. Mm-hmm. She had like a car in college. She like I had to go buy a suit for an interview. She bought the suit for me.
Wow.
She like had all kinds of money.
Okay.
And that was like an aspect.
Sure.
I was also thinking about. I'm trying to think about like if there were things where it's like, you don't understand. Not really. I think ultimately our, as this person says in the letter, like our kind of hard work and all those things were like in there.
Yeah.
I'm also, let's see here. So let's see, we're at different stages in life. I'm developing slower. I wouldn't say that we're developing slower. I do think that maybe if these relationships weren't super long, but if they were longer, there might be some things where it's like, it's interesting that you do it that way versus how I would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't like the framing of whatever this person's current partner, or I would assume ex, is it an ex?
I think they're still dating.
Or sorry, if you're still dating, that's awesome too. But I don't like the framing of like developing quote unquote slower or whatever. Because like what you're actually doing is the norm is American values, and you are learning these things like American culture and American values. So it's not you're developing slower, you're just learning things.
You're learning about those things.
Yeah.
Also, I feel that I think a big crux of this letter is about like being quote unquote introspective.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty new thing.
Yeah.
For Asian people.
I know. I mean, like in general.
For us,
But also just for in general people.
Yes. The whole mental health discussion is pretty new.
Pretty new.
Yeah.
So like, I don't like the framing of it having a norm set like that to be like introspective and whatever. It's like all kind of centered around like new things and also American culture. It's essentially like abandon your other culture and learn this culture faster.
Yeah. And then this last point is especially weird. Like his mom thinks his life would be tough if he were to continue dating me because I'd be quote unquote taking advantage of him. Not sure exactly what's going on. I don't know if there's some sort of like immigration situation.
Maybe.
Which I think is like that's a whole thing.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. That's also a generational thing.
Yeah.
Where like every older folks think that everyone wants to marry an American to get citizenship.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, for what benefit?
Yeah. I mean, one thing I will point out too, to the letter writer, is you can't say you're not introspective. You wrote a fucking letter to a podcast.
It's true.
And we talk about our feelings all the time.
I know.
If anything, introduce your boy to the podcast and be like, hey, who's introspective now?
Yeah.
We have a whole fucking career based on this,
Yeah, I don't know. It's fascinating. I do think that probably the language is different in terms of like how you talk about what's going on inside.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I think like even talking to like my mom, granted it's in a different language, but it's like she often points out, because I speak to her in English, she speaks to me in Japanese. Often when we like get into stuff, she's like, there is no language for what you're saying. Like what you're saying sounds soft when you say it in English, but when I say it in Japanese, it sounds very harsh.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm like, yeah, sometimes it's just like there is no way. It's like you have to learn the way to talk about what's going on inside, or the way that you're discussing it is different. It doesn't mean that you're not introspective. It's just like the way it's communicated is different. Right.
Yeah. I mean, even if to your point, the even the idea of introspection or mental health is like pretty new in America.
Yeah.
Especially, it's really kind of surged since the pandemic. So it's only been a couple of years. And, maybe that conversation isn't as quote unquote developed. Not that people aren't introspective
Right.
in Asia, but it's just like they don't have the words for those things yet. They're just not like used to saying and like having a, whatever, introspective day or whatever the fuck it is. To kind of bring this kind of reminds me of sometimes when I talk to my European friends.
Yeah.
Right, they will always talk to us. They'll often talk about how we're Americans are very race conscious.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "You guys are all like so racially blah blah blah," right? And they make it seem like there's no racism in Europe or something.
No, it's literally just not discussed.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
not
like
discussed.
even more there.
Right. So I'm wondering if there's a parallel with like the way it's not like Americans are more advanced in it. It's just like it's what the culture is about right now. We talk about race a lot. We talk about, whatever.
Mental
health, socialism.
Right.
That's where the conversation's at.
Yeah.
Whereas like in other countries, it may be about something else. I don't know if we're more advanced or not, but to your point, it's a very American thing.
Yeah, it is.
To do those things. And yeah.
And to think of it as like progressing or developing, I think is
it's a tricky thing.
Not the best way to phrase it, because I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It sets it like, it's just American centric then.
Yeah, that's a great point. Best way to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
I feel
I don't know. It's I guess I don't have enough like first gen friends that aren't comedians.
Yeah.
For me to like have a good read on things.
I mean, I don't have too many first generation Asian friends now.
Yeah.
But I would say that don't feel inadequate or whatever, because this is fucking new for us too. And I feel it's if the whole point of the mental health introspection thing is, I think, to be more inclusive of other people, and this is not being inclusive.
Yeah, it's not understanding difference in experiences.
And ultimately, I'm calling this letter writer K. Is he getting you off? That's really important. You having the big O's?
We just leapt so far.
Boom.
I didn't know this is where we were going to go.
Yeah.
So I was on board. I went, and then you said the sentence. I went, okay, well, that's not where I was going to end up.
Let's just say that, okay? If you're not making you happy in the sack and also in the brain, then you know what? You should think about it. But I think you're being very introspective. Okay?
Wow, that's fascinating. This is a fascinating letter. I also think this is also why I do always think there is a difference between being Asian and Asian American.
There's a difference.
And there's also a difference in
difference
being like even fourth generation Asian American.
For sure.
Versus like a second generation Asian American.
Yeah.
And so our experiences are nuanced. Can you believe it?
It's nuanced, Thank you for this letter.
Yeah, thank you. I would date someone. I just want to make it clear. I would date someone who's first generation. I just have to be able to talk about my stupid stuff.
I think a lot more, in my opinion, has a lot more to do with like that person's value. So like if the first generation person was like also into being silly, but it's like sense of humor is that different too, depending on where you're from. Like there's just a lot of stuff. There is that true. There is that's true. But I feel if they value those things, that's important.
Yeah,
versus
for sure.
like if they value, I don't know, like owning a hot tub or something like that. That would be different.
Yeah.
I also value owning a hot tub.
Yeah, that's Mike's number one value.
Very quickly, a little break here. We're going to let you guys know if you are enjoying what you're hearing, or even if you're not, give us 5 stars anyways. Give us a 5-star rating.
Please.
You can leave a review on the Apple Podcast app. You can also do the same on Spotify now, so do that. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, I know the cadence of how this comes out is different on YouTube, but versus on the sort of podcast platform. But if you're listening, hit like, hit subscribe. We love the comments. I read all the comments, so just let us know what you think, and of course tell all your friends, and that's the best way to support the podcast. We're going to close this out with I wanted to make this kind of fun, and so I posted on Instagram stories basically this question, which is tell us something that you do that's bad, but you do it anyways because sometimes it feels so good, right? And so, for example, the thing that I do sometimes just because fuck it is I don't recycle. I'm just like, I don't got time for this shit. It's all going into one place. Boom. And you know what? It feels good because
it feels good?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
But I hate sorting shit out sometimes. I used to hate sorting shit.
Got it.
And it was always like, no, put the glass and the plastic in here, but then the paper. And then in New York, people don't know this. In New York, when you have a bunch of paper, it has to be bound. It has to be bound like, with fucking twine.
Right.
What am I, a dock worker? I'm not doing that. I hate it.
Yeah.
So I asked this question and we got some interesting responses and we're going to go through a couple.
Okay.
How's that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay, let's just read a few.
Okay. Read the juiciest ones.
Okay. They're not that juicy because
really?
They're like, I don't know, they're just fun.
I know. I want someone to be like murder once in a while.
Murder. No, they're fun. Oh, this is a fun one. I stalk my crush on WhatsApp to see when he was last active.
WhatsApp?
Yeah, I guess they use WhatsApp because you can see what they're using WhatsApp.
That feels like first gen stuff.
Oh, hey.
Interesting. I get that. I used to do that on Venmo sometimes when I was really hung up on someone.
Venmo?
Not are you kidding me?
What?
Venmo is the clearest way to see who someone's spending time with.
Whoa.
Have you never thought about that?
No.
Wow.
Yo, you're on LinkedIn, you're on Venmo, all the financial shit.
I'm not even...
Yo, I'm checking out your bank statements.
So when I was really hung up on this guy, this is like 10 years ago. I didn't even want to see his Venmo stuff, but we were friends on it, obviously.
Right.
And he would
you
pop
see the
up,
timeline.
and I could tell that he was dating someone else. Like, it's like a couple months after, because he was like Venmoing her for stuff, and it was consistently the same person.
Whoa.
And then I would, at that time, click and see what the Venmos are and how often.
Whoa.
Yeah. He still pops up on my Venmo when I open it because we're still friends. And I'm like, well.
Are they still Venmoing different
I don't know
people?
if it was the same. I think it was a different person, but now he has yeah.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah. So I guess I understand where this person's coming from.
Dang.
I feel you, but I'm scarier.
Yeah, this person's just on WhatsApp. You're on Venmo.
I'm on Venmo.
You're like in the
That's
Matrix,
why I keep
dude.
everything I do private.
Here's a fun one. I throw perfectly good junk food in the trash so I don't eat it later. I do that.
Wow, I literally cannot relate to anything less.
Really?
When I buy junk food, I'm ready to eat the whole thing.
Really?
You buy it and then you throw it away?
Well, okay, it depends. No, so if I buy like snacks,
Yeah.
I will, but a lot of times, and Gina gets really mad at me for this. Like I'll order pizza from this place called F&F, and it's pretty expensive. So like I order like a lot at once. So I order like 2 whole pies, and we'll eat like a couple slices during the meal, and then we'll eat a couple more. But after like the 3rd day or 2nd day, which it's still completely viable to eat, I will eat maybe 1 slice and throw the rest away.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Then just don't buy as much.
That's what Gina always says.
I feel like
That
the
doesn't make sense to
workaround
me.
is
No.
really easy.
When at the time I'm like, I'm hungry, I want this now, and then I throw away later on.
Just order less.
No.
Okay, so we're in our big fight now. We're fighting now. I'm angry.
You know why Asian Not Asian broke up? It's because Mike
keeps ordering
pizza.
pizzas and throwing them away.
You understand what it's like for a second to be married to me. That's what
I
Gina's
would be,
always like. Why
I would
do you
be
order so
pissed.
much?
Divorce.
Oh, here's a good one. I'll see someone I know, but don't say hi and make an excuse like they're too far away.
Yes.
I know a lot of people do that.
I've done that. If I have a hat on, I look down.
So you don't want to talk to them?
I don't want to talk to them. So sometimes you're just in a mood to not have small talk. Those moods. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I never get like that. I always
You
I
love a
talking
little
to
chat.
people.
Yeah.
I love
you
a little
love
chat.
a little chat.
How you doing?
You do. You love to go, hey, how's it going, man? You look good.
It's good. Yeah, I do like doing that. That's how I talk.
You look good.
You look good. How you doing?
How you doing?
Here's
Yeah,
my
that's
son.
how you do it. Me, no. If I'm in the mood, I'll do it. When I'm hitting that high of socialization, I'll like get in there, talk to everybody,
Sure.
but most of the time, I'm like want to be quiet by myself.
Interesting. That's really funny. That's really
I feel
funny.
you. I feel you.
This is very Asian. Sometimes I use a fork if there are no chopsticks. Sometimes I use a fork instead of chopsticks. Does that make me real bad?
No.
You know what
I
I'm
use a
saying?
spoon a lot. I love spoons.
I will say Asian spoons are not up to par.
Asian spoons?
You know the Chinese spoon that's
oh, yeah.
I don't like that kind.
Yeah. I just realized I don't know what that spoon is called. other than in
it's called a
Japanese.
spoon. Oh, it has a word in Japanese.
Yeah.
What is it in
I
Japanese?
think it's an engit.
It's you know what I'm talking about. Like
yeah, like the deep one.
The deep one.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit in your mouth right.
I know.
You can't make
But
a
it's
seal
good.
around it.
But it's good for certain things.
I guess it's good for soup.
But like if I'm eating just like a bowl of something,
yeah.
I want a regular spoon.
Give me a regular old.
But I don't think that's not that guilty of a pleasure.
Yeah, some of these are light. I told you.
Yeah. I want that juice.
Oh, this is a good one. This is funny. Pick a piece of dandruff from my scalp and look at it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Mike's loving it.
Oh man, like
you do that?
I don't have dandruff, but I would definitely.
Same.
There's a thing I like to, I
understand the conceptually what you mean.
Just like how you marvel at how gross your body is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know when you like something scabs over and then the scab falls off
And you look at it.
and you have it in your hand?
Yeah.
It's that
Yes.
phenomenon where you're like, wow,
Whoa, I made this.
that's so crazy.
It's so good.
That's a big chunk of my body right there. And then you throw it away.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
think the dandruff is interesting because, like, if you look at it, like, it has little holes where your hair is.
Yeah.
That's real weird. You ever look at that? You ever think about that?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
This podcast.
I haven't had dandruff in a while. This is reminding me that I'm doing a really great job.
You
with
are.
my
Your hair
care.
looks great.
Thank you.
Your hair looks great.
My head is healthy as hell.
Oh, this is. I get this one.
Okay.
Sometimes I turn my headphone volume. Turn up my headphone volume when walking near homeless people. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard in New York, man.
I know.
I don't know if this person in New York, but I hear that one.
What I do is even if I don't have music on, I walk like I have music on.
Yeah.
With headphones
oh, yeah.
on.
Well, I think for
Is that
women,
bad?
a lot of women do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a self-defense, self-protection
Totally.
thing.
No, but I'm talking about even if it's like, I want to avoid someone who's flyering.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't. I'm busy.
Can't hear. Yeah.
Nothing's playing in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretend
I
you're on the
do
phone.
that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
But I understand. It's a safety thing sometimes.
Let's see here. This is a funny one. I'll walk around the house with my shoes on and pretend I'm in a sitcom. That's pretty funny.
I would never do that.
You never walk around.
Oh
in
my, I'm
shoes?
so anti-shoe. Oh, if I got house shoes, I would do that.
House shoes, yeah.
Like house Crocs. Oh, when I get new shoes, I do that.
You just walk around with your shoes
Well,
on.
yeah, I kind of just like, there are no rules. Like I feel like a bad girl.
See? You feel like a bad girl.
But that's when they're brand new.
Yeah.
Never been worn outside.
Yeah.
That's when I kind of go crazy.
That's a good one.
Yeah. That's when I'm bad.
Let's see here. How about this one? This will be this I think will be controversial. Sometimes I don't tip for counter service.
I've started not tipping as much.
I think a lot of people have started doing that. Are we
Because
talking
I
about counter
saw-
service like you're sitting at the counter, or are you talking about counter service like you go to a cafe?
Like I go to a cafe and it's like to go and
Yeah.
I just grab the food at the counter and leave.
Mm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I tipping
There's too much tipping going on.
20% for?
There's so much tipping.
I think that's the thing. Like I think in the pandemic, we all started tipping, rightfully so, for like the work then.
Yeah.
And then I'm like starting to hit a point. I saw like some TikToks about like how tipping works, how much goes to like who, and I started being like, oh, it's kind of, tipping culture is kind of getting out of control.
It's getting a little crazy.
Yeah.
They're just like passing,
the cost onto the consumer.
Yeah, why don't you pay your guy more? You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
Okay, we'll do one more. We'll
Okay.
do one more. Putting shopping carts anywhere except the designated area.
I would never.
I used to do it all the time. Like, you live in the suburbs and you're just like, you just put the cart like in the, that liminal space that's in between 4 different spots.
Yeah.
Like in the middle there.
Yeah.
But now I will always, not always, if it's real far away, but I try to put it back.
I always do. You know
Really?
when you're talking about recycling?
Yes.
See, so I don't understand at all because when there's a designated place to put it, I love that.
Yeah.
And I will follow the rules.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I'm panicking about moving right now.
You're so Japanese.
There's no designated locations for my stuff yet.
Yeah.
So I'm just like in a flurry all the time. My brain is like a mess. But the second everything has its place, it's going to stay there for forever.
Do you ever watch those YouTubes where it's like, it's usually a Japanese person, but it's like a person just like living in a really nice apartment and then like them getting ready like their lunch and then like cleaning up their apartment and like putting everything away.
Maybe like vlogs.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
But like you don't see their face. It's
Right.
just like
it's just calming.
the mood of
Yeah.
them like putting stuff away.
What do I look up to get that? I think I need that energy.
I don't know. My wife watches it a lot. She
Okay,
uses
I'll
it to get
ask her
ideas
after
about
this.
like, oh, you know, we need this broom thing and it can hang the broom like right behind
Yeah,
this door.
yeah. I need that. I'm so excited right now.
Oh my God. All right. Well, that was fun. You guys are all terrible, bad people.
Yeah, canceled.
Canceled. Everybody's canceled. Us too. But yeah, that was a podcast. Hope you had a lot of fun. This was all over the place.
I know it was
We did a
really.
lot of-
Is it okay? I think we
I think
forgot
so.
how podcasts work, and
No.
we just had a normal conversation.
This is what a hang is like with
Okay,
us.
yeah, it is. It is all over the place.
You know, we got all sorts of stuff. We dabble in immigration stories.
Yes.
We talk about recycling.
Yes.
We talk about moving.
Uh-huh.
It's just, you never know, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
It's kind of a reflection of where I'm at right now in my
Exactly.
life.
So thank you very much for listening. Again, hit us up on Patreon. Hit us up on our show, Hack City. And if you want, you know what? Check out your boy Viral Asian. You can find me on Instagram at Nice Pants Bro.
And I'm at Jenny Arimoto.
And you can always follow the podcast at Asian Not Asian Pod. Now, we got some cool guests coming up, and until then, we love you. Bye.
Bye.